The Abraham Accords were the covenant with many, as Leland Jones, myself, Brother James Key, and others reported at the time. This was on September 15th of 2020, when leaders across the Middle East signed these Abraham Accords. Now, this landmark agreement normalized diplomatic relations between Israel, the United Arab Emirates, and Bahrain, and then later a renewal in ties with Morocco. And now, today, we have Trump, or I guess it was early in the morning or late last night, something like that. Trump is telling the Arab states that joining the Abraham Accords should be mandatory and throws open the door for Iran in this grand deal. So President Trump is still trying to play the role of the globe's ultimate deal maker. He would say peacemaker, right? Using a mix of mandatory diplomacy and ultimate economic carrots, issuing a lengthy missive on Iran talks and the Abraham Accords on Monday morning. He introduced the post by stating that negotiations with Tehran are proceeding nicely, before dropping a provocative diplomatic bombshell, a demand that a big list of Middle Eastern countries or nations immediately sign on to the Abraham Accords as a prerequisite for any broader peace framework. The most unexpected aspect to this post laid out that if Tehran plays ball with Washington, Trump is dangling the prospect of the Islamic Republic itself joining the regional coalition, which it must be remembered hinges on normalization with Israel. He says, I stated that after all the work done by the United States to try and pull this very complex puzzle together, it should be mandatory that all of these countries, at a minimum, simultaneously sign on to the Abraham Accords. And so that was what he wrote on Monday, referencing a Saturday phone call with Arab leaders. So Trump went on to say that those countries discussed are Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, which is already a member, Qatar, Pakistan, Turkey, Egypt, Jordan, and Bahrain, already a member as well. It may be possible that one or two have a reason for not doing so, and that would be accepted, but most should be ready, willing, and able to make this settlement with Iran a far more historic event than it would otherwise be. The Abraham Accords have proven to be, for the countries involved, which is the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, Sudan, Kazakhstan, a financial, economic, and social boom, even during this time of conflict and war, with the current members never even suggesting leaving or taking so much as even a pause. Now, that's not true. We know that there's been a lot of talk of abandoning the United States in this effort. But anyway, the above was coupled with the following ultimatum. It should start with the immediate signing by Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and everybody else should follow suit. If they don't, they should not be part of this deal, in that it shows bad intention. And then he dropped the significant twist related to Tehran, in claiming that several of the regional leaders he spoke with would be honored, as soon as our document is signed, to have the Islamic Republic of Iran as part of the Abraham Accords. Wow, now that would be something special, he says. So inviting Iran to join the Abraham Accords as part of a broader final deal framework has resulted in a lot of head scratching. Yeah, I bet it has, given that just weeks ago, Trump repeatedly threatened to bomb the country back to the Stone Age and effectively end civilization there. U.S. rhetoric has been filled with scorn for Iran, and yet it is now being asked to join a grand U.S.-backed alliance. Trump, in his very long message, issued a directive in the following. Therefore, he says, I'm mandatorily requesting that all countries immediately sign the Abraham Accords, and that if Iran signs its agreement with me, as President of the United States of America, it would be an honor to have them also be a part of this unparalleled world coalition. The Middle East would be united, powerful, and economically strong like perhaps no other area anywhere in the world. My copy of this truth, I'm asking my representatives to begin and successfully complete the process of signing these countries into the already historic Abraham Accords. Meanwhile, look who's fully on board and has returned to singing Trump's praises after expressing concern over a bad Iran deal. And of course, it's Lindsey Graham. Oh, he just has to pop in on all these things, doesn't he? So he says President Trump's most recent proposal requiring expansion of the Abraham Accords as part of a negotiated settlement to the Iran conflict is simply brilliant, he says, and it would result in the most significant change in the Middle East in thousands of years. Yeah, it would. And on whether Trump can single-handedly force countries as far apart in their foreign policies as Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, and Turkey, or especially Iran, into a binding agreement with Tel Aviv remains a massive question mark, to put it mildly, or rather would be incredible and highly unrealistic. But with the threat of shooting, but bigger and stronger than ever before, serving as the baseline, the White House has put regional powers officially on notice. In Trump's logic, at least. Yeah, indeed. In his logic, in his mind. So, I'll let you make of that what you will, but that's a pretty grandiose statement, don't you think? Also including Iran and the Abraham Accords. But it is the covenant with many that was predicted. And it's coming up again, this time, to get everybody to sign on, including Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Turkey. And then ultimately, Trump says Iran, he'd love to see them join in. Wants to make it mandatory for this deal to finally be worked out. And so they can have peace. But I think we all know what the Bible says about peace. 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So, the more he sings about peace, the more the sudden destruction is looming in the background. And that will be it for now in this particular episode. Don't forget, if you're not watching the video here on don'tspeaknews.com, this is home base for all that we do, in case you're new here and you weren't aware. This is where I've got over 3,000 stories now, and we've been around here since 2019 with the official website. And if you'd like to subscribe, there's a subscribe box at the bottom of every article, or you can click on this tab here. Subscribe, contact Johnny, and Don't Speak News of Proton Mail is how you get in touch. And then type in your email here, click on subscribe, and then you'll be notified every time a new posting comes up. Channel support, where listeners supported only. As we get towards the end of the month, your support is needed. Thank you so much for those who have supported thus far this month. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. So thank you very much for that. All the links to do so, to support us, are right underneath here, including Cash App and Venmo as well. So we have those, and then we have Rumble, BitChute, Telegram. Underneath this tab, we have all the places to find us around the interwebs, including Don't Speak Health News on Substack, if you weren't familiar with that. That's where I put health news that we can't speak about on YouTube or pretty much anywhere else, except here on the website or on the blog on Substack, which is where I put that news. And that will be it for now. God bless, take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.